Will Assassin's Creed Mirage be like AC Unity? There's been a ton of discussion around AC Mirage having lots of Unity features such as parkour, combat, graphics, and much more. So, is any of this actually true? Will we really get to flip across the roofs of Baghdad in smooth and seamless parkour? Will we have a deep combat system reminiscent of Assassin's Creed Unity? And I guess overall, will Assassin's Creed Mirage be as good as Assassin's Creed Unity? So you probably know that I've made a few videos on this topic before, where we would discuss if I think parkour, combat, graphics, etc. would be in Assassin's Creed Mirage as it was in Assassin's Creed Unity. But this video is going to go into much more detail and depth in those topics, and it's going to be all as one sort of package in this video, AC Unity pack. So this is the defining video on whether Assassin's Creed Mirage will be like Unity in all of its aspects. Look no further, because you are here. Now listen, I'm just glad you're here, so wait to the end of the video before you subscribe so you know that it's the content that you want to see. Before we go into parkour, I want to discuss combat. Will the combat in Assassin's Creed Mirage be like it was in Assassin's Creed Unity, where you could parry, dodge, roll, and everything felt more realistic than it did in the most recent games like Valhalla? Swinging your sword felt heavy, it was slower than it is in most recent games, but it just felt more realistic, and to me it felt much more like an assassin would fight, especially when you'd finish off an enemy and Arno would kind of step on the wall, jump down and slice him up. Let's be honest, I'm not saying it's the perfect combat system, not at all, but I think it's safe to say it's a lot better than the godlike Spartan kick and the throwing of many axes out of nowhere that we got in most recent games. So to start off with, I want to say it is possible, it's definitely possible we will see a return of Assassin's Creed Unity style combat. As we will get into later in this video, Assassin's Creed Mirage's parkour is likely going to be the same as it was in Unity, or at least very much inspired by that parkour system, being very flashy, being very fluid, and a lot more airy, I suppose you could say, than most recent games. So with that being said, you can imagine that they would take a combat system from an older game and also bring that back. At the end of the day, it's not something Ubisoft has to recreate. Like, the foundations for that combat system are there because they made it in Assassin's Creed Unity. Of course, Basim isn't going to fight in the exact same style as Arno did hundreds of years later. So what they could do is bring the foundations of that combat system into Mirage and then amplify it, tweak it here and there, change a few of the animations a little bit to fit Basim's style and the style of combat that was prevalent in 9th century Baghdad. The combat in Unity isn't specifically tailored to the French Revolution. It's likely that when Ubisoft were developing Assassin's Creed Mirage, the developers probably took different combat lessons and learnt from combat experts on the best way for hand-to-hand combat with a sword. From there, they'd probably tweak it and add their own Assassin's Creed flair onto their own combat to make it feel more fluid and to make it make sense, if that makes sense. They may talk to Iraqi combat professionals, again, who also understand combat from history to get an idea of how they want to use combat in Assassin's Creed Mirage, and again, add their assassin flair, mix that with Unity's combat system. It can be done, it's possible. So to answer the question, can Assassin's Creed Unity's combat be in Assassin's Creed Mirage? The answer is yes. But more importantly, the most asked question, will Assassin's Creed Unity combat be in Assassin's Creed Mirage? That's still up in the air. You have to take a look at Ubisoft and the company that they are right now in today's climate. Do they innovate? Do they create new features? Are they very creative, or are they very lazy and will copy and paste? What I'm saying is, it's likely that they might literally just take Assassin's Creed Valhalla's combat and just bring it straight into Assassin's Creed Mirage, especially if they haven't had that much time to develop the game. As we know, Basim is a character within Assassin's Creed Valhalla, and he does fight enemies. I mean, you fight him yourself in the game. So perhaps they'll just take those exact animations from Basim in Valhalla and make them playable in Assassin's Creed Mirage. And that is the same for a lot of questions we discuss in this video today. We won't know the answer until we see gameplay. So every conclusion we come to is going to be very speculative. And that's why I want you guys to let me know in the comments your thoughts as well. Do you agree that there will be AC Unity features within Mirage, or do you disagree? Do you think combat in Mirage is going to be just like Valhalla, or is it going to be something completely new? I want to know your thoughts, and in this video, that is what we're discussing. Moving on, the one you probably clicked for and have been waiting for. Will parkour from Assassin's Creed Unity be present in Assassin's Creed Mirage? That's a very deep topic, and it takes a little bit of discussion before we can come to a conclusion. Again, the parkour animations and system is there because we played Unity, the game exists, it is there. So yes, they could very easily take that system and just bring it into the development of Assassin's Creed Mirage. It's possible they can do it. Do I think that they will do it? I actually do think that they will. I don't think it will be exactly a carbon copy of AC Unity's, but I do think you will have the wide reach of climbing where you could glide from one building to the other in a very fluid-like way, and the very smooth-looking flips and turns and twists. I think those will be in Assassin's Creed Mirage like they were in Unity. But I think it makes more sense that they will change the animation style to fit Basim as a character a lot more. Again, Assassin's Creed Mirage is set in 9th century Baghdad, where Assassin's Creed Unity was set in 17th century France. So, of course, the way people move in two different time periods and countries is going to be different. So, I think it likely they'll take the foundations from Unity and hopefully improve on it and just tweak it to fit Assassin's Creed Mirage a lot better. So, I think parkour in Assassin's Creed Mirage is going to feel satisfying, it's going to be way more seamless, and there are going to be a ton of videos on YouTube just showcasing the fun and satisfying parkour. I think Ubisoft know that everybody wants better parkour, so if they don't do this and just use Valhalla's parkour once again, like, they know people are gonna riot. I'm gonna be there with my fist up in the air, and I'm gonna be rioting. So, next up, I think assassin tools within Assassin's Creed Mirage will be very reminiscent of Assassin's Creed Unity. In AC Unity, we had smoke bombs. We had those little things you could throw that would crackle and pop to attract people's attention or distract them. You had the Phantom Blade, which was a way of shooting darts out, poison darts or lethal darts to enemies, which was kind of in place of throwing knives. All of that stuff and more will be in Assassin's Creed Mirage, in my opinion. I think smoke bombs are going to work just exactly the same as they did in Unity. Because we know throwing knives are coming back, I think you will throw throwing knives very similar to how you did in Assassin's Creed Syndicate and how you used the Phantom Blade in Assassin's Creed Unity. And I think any new tool they bring into the game will be based off of previous games' features and how those worked. They'll just be a little bit tweaked for Assassin's Creed Mirage's new system. Now, graphics. Will graphics be the same as they were in Unity? As we know, the graphics in Assassin's Creed Unity just looked so much better than they did in most recent games. Now, that technically isn't because textures and graphics were better. It was a lot to do with, firstly, the lighting of the world. If you can have global illumination and just make lighting as good as possible, that can really just add to the depth of the scene that you're in within a game and trick the eye into thinking graphics are better than a game with less good lighting. It's even the same with recording a video. If I've got a camera filming my face and I have the most perfect studio quality lighting, but I have the most shit camera ever, I'm recording on my iPhone 3, the good lighting is going to make the camera quality not look as bad as if the lights were just normal lighting. You'd see a complete contrast. It's the same camera, but the lighting really adds to the professionality or whatever you want to say of the picture. Same with games. Lighting is everything, and Assassin's Creed Unity had really good lighting. On top of that, the graphics were better on character models because the facial animations and the movement of those characters were way better than they were in Valhalla, in Odyssey, in Origins. If I'm not mistaken, a lot of Assassin's Creed Unity's cutscenes were mocapped, which means you'd have the actors in green suits acting out, then those scenes would be taken and processed within the game to create the scenes that you see within the game. It's the best way of making the most realistic looking characters and again facial animations within a video game. But with games like Assassin's Creed Valhalla, they were so much bigger games that they didn't have the time or resources to have people in the mocap studio for every single scene. So what they would do is they'd get the actors recording their lines in just a studio on the microphone and they'd animate the characters in the game themselves rather than using mocap. So again, it subconsciously makes you think the graphics aren't as good as Unity because it doesn't look as realistic or feel as fluid. So those were the main reasons on why graphics in Assassin's Creed Unity came across as much better. Now, we know that Assassin's Creed Mirage is going to be a much shorter game than Assassin's Creed Valhalla, for example. Assassin's Creed Valhalla was over 100 hours if you played a lot of it, whereas if you play a lot of Mirage and finish everything, it's probably going to be between 20 to 30 hours. Very similar to game length as it was for Assassin's Creed Unity. So with that being said, it is is possible that Ubisoft have taken the actors for Basim, for other characters going to be in the game, and have put them in a mocap studio. If that's the case, graphics will look a lot better to the naked eye because animations are going to look more realistic within the face, within the movement of the characters, and stuff like that. The world of Baghdad is going to be a much smaller world than the world of England from Valhalla, for example, so they can add better lighting, they can make things look a lot prettier. So yes, I do think it likely that the graphics in Assassin's Creed Mirage will be on par with Assassin's Creed Unity. But it's also just as possible that Ubisoft say, you know what, nah G, goofy looking Assassin's Creed game, that's what we like, and we're gonna make more of that in Mirage, and it looks just like it did in Odyssey and Valhalla. So again, it can go one way or the other, and once more, I want to know your guys' thoughts in the comments and all of that. Now, this next gameplay feature isn't from Assassin's Creed Unity, it's from the older games such as the Ezio trilogy up to about Black Flag. But I thought it kind of fits well in this video anyway, so yeah, here it is. Will Assassin's Creed Mirage have hidden blade combat? I have made a video about this in the past, but we're going to go into more detail here. So in Assassin's Creed Unity, you couldn't fight with your hidden blade. You could assassinate people stealthily with the hidden blade, but like in older games where you could literally fight with your hidden blade, swing your wrist at people, you couldn't do that in Unity. Now, you could kind of do it in Assassin's Creed Valhalla where you would hold down the bumper button, Eivor would do this slow sort of animation, and then it would do an uppercut to stab an enemy. But again, it wasn't proper hidden blade combat. So the question is, will AC Mirage have hidden blade combat like in Valhalla, for example, or are they going to bring back proper combat with hidden blade like in the Ezio games where you could literally press X and swing your wrist towards your enemies like you would a sword? Now, I'm thinking it's probably going to be the same as it was in Assassin's Creed Valhalla, where you would hold down the attack button and he would do a slow sort of animation where he would uppercut the enemy and use the hidden blade that way. I just genuinely don't think Ubisoft will try to innovate and create a new sort of system based off of an old one when they could literally take what's already there and just put it in AC Mirage. So to clarify, yes, I think there will be hidden blade combat, but it will be the same as in Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Now, that's not to say future Assassin's Creed games like AC Codename Red or future games within the AC Infinity Live service, that's not to say they won't have proper good hidden blade combat, but because this game hasn't had that long of a development time and it's reusing a lot of Valhalla's assets, I just think it will also reuse hidden blade combat. Okay, so that's about it. Those are the things I think Ubisoft will take from Assassin's Creed Unity and bring into Assassin's Creed Mirage. Everything we've discussed today is not confirmed, it's all purely speculative. Take this all with a grain of salt and use your own imagination to imagine what we might see, and hopefully by June at E3 we will get some AC Mirage gameplay and we can then rest easy and I can then make 100 more videos and we can keep building that community. So if you did enjoy this video, now is the time to decide whether you want to subscribe or not and stay up to date with everything Assassin's Creed Mirage and stay in the loop. You can also give this video a like if you did enjoy it, because that will let me know that you want to see more just like this. And once more, I want to know your thoughts in the comments. Let's get a discussion going. I love you guys. May the Father of Understanding guide us. I will see you soon. Goodbye.